Here's my life in a nutshell continued, Tesla cats. So, as I was saying, even with the couple of really crazy things that happened and uh, Plymouth Lane, Tyler Towers, if you prefer, I did not want to move. But we decided to. I don't really know the reason why my parents were moving or why we were moving. I think it partially had to do with the building, and other parts of it had to do with other things. I don't really remember, like I said. But, so we moved to Todd Farm Drive, which was down the street from the next elementary school I would end up going to. Mind you, I've gone to all public schools all my life. So, that sounded weird. All my life. All my life. So, that explains. So that means I've had a little bit of different experiences than people who have gone to private schools and everything. But I swear, I went to Creekside, which felt like a freaking saint comparatively, though one of my friends said after a while he was getting made fun of, and it was the same friend that I had problems with in preschool. Not the point. Hi, Moody. But then, what was really cool about the only really cool thing about moving is that they let me finish second grade because I had gone through the majority of second grade at Creekside Elementary, and then I started going to Century Oaks. Now, when I started going to Century Oaks, there were some things that might be considered gross and unsavory, and I even now would think that I was kind of gross back then, and this started leading into some other things, but my underwear would get bunched up in awkward places, and my in certain areas of that area would get itchy, and I would scratch them, or I would pull my underwear down with my hand. Now, if you know anything, if someone's actually scratching those areas, they probably need to get a bath or need to wipe better down there. As a kid, I really did not do a good job at that. But there was another thing. It's not like it's impossible to pull that much of your underwear down. But people started looking at me and thinking I was weird. And this was in third grade. Third grade. So, third grade, the year where it's just anything that's gross for a girl gets you made fun of as a girl. I was so. But basically, this led into my first set of actual bullying. The actual thing. The actual thing that started me getting bullied was me doing these things that I didn't really think were gross or didn't really understand why people were disturbed by them at the time. But it led into a lot of very mixed emotions inside me. I kind of brushed it off to begin with, because I was like, it's just a one-time thing, no biggie. And then it just started getting almost worse and worse. There were people who and in my school, it wasn't like an all-white school or an all-black school or anything. It was different kids from different groups. And so, I didn't have my best friend who I'd had with me in preschool. She was a completely different person, and we don't really talk anymore. But, it really would get out of hand. People didn't want to work with me on projects, and people didn't want to treat me nicely. I found out some of the reasons why from one of my other friends who would hang out with those people who were jerks when I was a kid, with some of the boys that were jerks more than often than the girls. But one of the major things was obviously my obvious things were like me having specific problems. Um, and that started off with one girl. I'll just go with the first letter of her name, and we'll say her name was D. D saying "you," would say that I was gross, that I was disgusting, she'd be like, ew, 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 and she was part of the cause of people saying that I had Lucy cooties. Yes, my name's Lucy, by the way. First name, anyway. So it led to a lot, and I will continue this in the next video. Bye, guys.